Welcome. This is Syed Khalid Shahbaz and you're watching Kava News. Coronavirus has been saturating headlines the world over. It has forced the world into a lockdown that was unimagined, unprecedented, unprepared for and uncalled for. Jobs were lost, companies pushed to the verge of bankruptcy, businesses shut, restaurants, hotels, parks and even the busiest of airports wore a deserted look, with flights grounded, public transport crippled. Schools, colleges and educational institutions closed. Students who have been planning their future colleges are reeling in dilemma after competitive exams postponed and the devastating effect any more shift in the timeline will yield. While millions of dollars were wiped away from the rich during lockdown, the impact on the middle class and the poor is tragic and heartbreaking. The labor force took to streets with no jobs, no food, no money, no shelter to live. Fate of e-commerce giants and several startups was hanging by a thread. Newspapers ran dry without ads. Many of us who had filled our calendars with to-do lists to go to places and planned summer holidays suddenly didn't know what to do next. Just days into lockdown 1.0, some began to correlate themselves to the people of Kashmir who were forced into lockdown since August. Some took to binge watching on YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime and other platforms. And some watched the harsh reality helplessly as the relatives and friends who passed away during lockdown were laid to rest like destitutes without honoring a proper funeral. Scores of people walked miles in search of food, jobs. Some died walking on the way home. Others crushed to death in road accidents, while several displaced during lockdown. Every time Prime Minister Modi addressed the nation during the lockdown, a sense of dilemma, mixed feelings have prevailed among the people. On one side, when there was hope of hearing good news, they were also worried if the Prime Minister would announce another extension to lockdown, sugar-coated with expressions of sympathy for those suffering. Ironically, every time he addressed the nation, it has happened. Just when the first lockdown was about to end, a spike in positive coronavirus cases was reported and the lockdown moved into phase 2. By this time, people began chronicling the event in their diaries, learning new languages, taking skill enhancement courses online, and the moniker work from home defined the new office. Lockdown took away the freedom of movement, the freedom to get out of homes, the freedom to earn a living for millions of migrant laborers who had no idea what would hit them in the days to come. The economic relief promised by the governments have failed to comfort them. The relief distribution by most NGOs were reduced to photo ops and seldom reached the poorest of homes. People lost jobs, families, and even lives. But the lockdown did not end. Once again, to control the spread, similar circumstances ensued and lockdown went into 3.0. And just now, when the light at the end of the tunnel was getting brighter, fear of another possible lockdown tension is gripping the people who are in no way strong enough to endure the pains, the harsh comings any further. People are running out of money for food, for groceries. Well-to-do people in many localities of Hyderabad and world over were seen selling fruits and vegetables to make a living. It showed us the many problems faced by migrant laborers in India, how men, women and children are dying by walking hundreds of kilometers in scorching heat, braving weather for food and for money. The stories are perhaps the most tragic in recent history, heart-wrenching to say the least. The situation isn't likely to improve significantly until the coronavirus vaccine is developed, mass-produced and made available for use. According to the International Monetary Fund or IMF, this is the worst crisis since the global recession of 2009. It is said that India's growth rate has hit a low of 1.9 from 4.2 and will not be any good until mid-2021. Lockdown may have been undesired, but it has taught us survival with limited resources, reinstated hygiene habits, whether social distancing, shopping, or traveling internationally. Lockdown has exposed our dependency on ready-to-eat food, redundancies of impulsive shopping, pushed up the number of people relying on media, and people taking out time on social media to protest what is not right. It has taught us to live a life in difficult times, even try grooming our hair at home. It has taught us the importance of food and not letting it go waste, reiterated our healthy habits, reminded us of the importance of doctors with a soul, our responsibility to fellow citizens and to the planet itself, to consider ways to reduce pollution on land, in air and in water. Many people have joked that they have learned to survive for extended hours with their better halves, or have reached new heights of tolerating their spouses during lockdown. Some joke that it was a house arrest with the spouses getting better of them. Some hit a marathon activity on TikTok and on Facebook. But for others, lockdown proved as a test of faith, snipped India of its characteristics of religious tolerance. Lockdown may have put the Indian economy, global economy for that matter, in an ICU, and its only hope is that treatment takes a bottom-up approach. The Prime Minister's address to the nation on 12th of May called for self-empowerment, promotion of cottage industry, similar to the Make in India program. A 20 lakh crore package was announced to help the distressed nation. But how far will it benefit the citizens and to what extent? Only time will tell. Meanwhile, millions of migrant workers are fighting for their lives. The greatest enemy and threat to life is nothing but hunger and fear of dying from it. And crores of Indians are locked in their homes, waiting for the good times to actually come. This time with even more hope, for a new world order is forged by the perils of this lockdown. This is Syed Khalid Shahbaz and you're watching Gawah News.